Hi, folks. I'm Kumkum Sharma from iZenBridge. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, as per your time zone. I'm again back on my Friday evening, and as I am committed for the live sessions with you, so today I have a special guest with me, and we'll discuss a lot of things with him. But before that, I would like to welcome you all in the virtual live session episode 8, and I have Mr. Rakesh Singh with me. And Rakesh is a trainer, he is a coach, and I was there in once in his class also. So the agenda drive from you only, but I have couple of questions for Rakesh which I have received in last couple of days. So welcome, Rakesh. Thank you very much for taking out time for this session.
Yeah, good evening to you, Kumkum, and good evening to our viewers. Nice to be on your show. So let's go ahead. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Great, great, sir. So, guys, without wasting any time, I'll just give you the very quick brief about the open live sessions. What is these sessions? These sessions are for professionals, and as a community, uh, people, we would like to help you in your queries. We would like to give all the answers related to the best certification, best career choices. So you can ask all your questions. If you're watching this from LinkedIn, you can drop your questions in the comment section, and if you're watching from the YouTube, you can add your questions in the comment section. I'll add your questions, but before that, I have few questions for Mr. Rakesh, and I'll ask my question. So, Rakesh ji, first question: what is the IC Agile, this Business Agility Foundation, ICP BAF? So, can you just give us the brief about this ICP BAF certification?
Yes, Kumkum. So we know a lot of frameworks which promote agile methodology, primarily in software development, and they are kind of going on to product development. Now people have realized that it can be applied to complete organizations. So business functions such as HR, marketing, and product development integrated. So all the business function when they have to work together in a collaborative mode and be agile, respond to changes in a very agile manner with the mindset principles, something that is applied same way to product development, it is applied at an organization level. So you can, if you are a leader or you are part of a business function, or you want to be a coach, yeah. So that's where the business agility framework from IC Agile is the right place to start with.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing this thing. So, what I am hearing from you, so is this certification is majorly for the people from IT domain, or the all the domains are get some benefit from this certification?
It is certainly meant for all domains, whether they are IT or whether they are non-IT, particularly focused toward business function. So many decades back, a couple of decades back, we used to talk about business process engineering, yeah, optimizing your business process. Today we have gone one level ahead. You want the business to change in a very fast pace, yeah, and you want all the business functions, as I mentioned, HR, marketing, all of them to respond to the change in the shortest cycle time. But the principles, the basic principles remain the same, whether it is for product development or it's for the organization purpose.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, Rakesh, sharing this thing with us. And I think since last 1 year, I'm noticing this thing. There's so many things are going around the business agility area. Earlier, the business people and the governing bodies are not focusing on the business agility. So, guys, just the people who joined us few minutes back, just I was discussing about the business agility certification, and the governing body for the certification is IC Agile. So yeah, so one more question I have on the same topic, the business agility, the same certification. How learning about business agility support professional career growth?
So if you see that a number of people, they have gone into an organization and they have been in a functional discipline for some time, and if they want to improve their career, widening their knowledge base and working very in a leadership position or working for certain critical mission critical business function where agile methodology or approach can help the organization. So this knowledge, actually, I see a number of companies when I talk to them. One of the major bottleneck in getting the benefit of agility is that the business functions are not really into the whole ball game. So the business does not really benefit from that, though you may have product development going as an agile way. So all the other functions other than developers and product managers and other people, if you are in in other functions, you can really learn about agility. You can learn about all the principles, being customer centric. All the concept is applied to other functions as well. So if you want to be a leader, you want to be a coach, or you want to be a change agent in your function, that's the way to go. And that's for them, the BAF is the best way to start with.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much for answering this thing. And I think the moment you said this thing, the if you are a business leader, if you're a business coach, so I would like you to just share some more details, some more insight about this thing. Who should go for this certification?
So if you have been in an organization, let's say you are in a marketing function or an HR function, okay, you have been in a function for about a couple of years, and you see that your organization want to change. You want to be a coach, or you would like to either be a coach or lead a project of change. You want to change, let's say, a corporate function as a whole. You have to understand the two things that you have to understand. What is the overall organizational objective? What is that? In what way your organization want to respond to a change? So you have to understand what is we call system thinking, an overall thinking. So you should have a big picture. Yeah. And the second part is that in that big picture, how your function can improve itself and contribute to itself. So it could be the way you deliver a particular process. It could, let's say in HR, the way you do the talent acquisition. Can you do in a very fast method? Because organizations complain that our particular department is not really responding to our request in a faster way. So how can change your own function in the context of overall organization? Yeah, so system thinking, your value stream approach of improving your process. So all these tools and technique is something that we teach about in this particular foundational course. So I think I have not heard the voice here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was on a mute. Sorry. So I was just asking, is there any prerequisite for this certification? ICP
Uh,
BAF?
so So there are two things that you may like to be rather prepared for taking this training. One thing is that you should have an understanding of a particular discipline or domain. So if it could be a product development, you could be in a marketing functions, or it could be in operational functions. So you should have some domain knowledge about that function, and you should have got some experience with that. The second part is, which is important for you, is that you have a mindset of change. So you need to be sure that you would like to get into a learning mode where you get into a cross domain knowledge. So it's not a silo approach. You may have to work with other functions. If you are in HR, how you work with your development team, how do you work with finance sometimes. So you need to have a very broad vision and open-mindedness. So if you have these two things, that you are good in certain function, you have an understanding of that, let's say finance, you spend some time in that, and you are open to learn other functions as well. So these two things are prerequisite.
Perfect, perfect. So, but there is no as such prerequisite from the governing body side, like this much years experience you need, or nothing like that.
There is no specific number provided, but I'm saying this with my experience that you should come with some understanding
Some
of the business.
experience. Then only you will get the benefit. Otherwise, the benefit you'll not get. If you're a fresher, then you'll not get that benefit from this
Yeah.
certification. That completely makes sense. Completely makes sense. So, can you just brief our audience about the whole process of this certification, like enrolling to, getting the certification, and is there any assessment, something like that?
So basically, if you look at ICP Business Agility Framework Foundation Program, this is a 2-day program, typically about 16 hours. Normally, we do it in a 2-day session or a 4-day session, depending on our plan. You need to participate in this plan. We have a lot of reading material. Then there are conceptual knowledge that we transfer. Then we do a lot of workouts within the team members. And the last part that is important to make sure that you are able to apply your learning. So we expect the participant, to do some kind of a case study from their own personal context or their own business context, and make a submission to the IC Agile program. And based on our understanding that, okay, you are now understanding the concept and you can apply the concept in your own environment, that will be good enough for you to get this certification.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds really good. And yeah, so for our audience, I just wanted to share once again. As of now, I am live with Mr. Rakesh Singh, and Rakesh is a trainer of business agility, POPM, LPM. If you have any questions related to these subjects, feel free to ask. Just drop your questions in the comment box, no matters whether you're watching from YouTube or LinkedIn. After some time, Rakesh has only 25 minutes for us. So guys, if you have any questions, just this is the time you can share now only. And I have my list of questions which can helpful for you also. So after 25 minutes, Saket Bansal will join us, and then we'll share some insights about the other things also. So Rakesh, this is, I mean, it was a very insightful thing about the business agility. Now I would like to explore the different areas like SAFe POPM. So what is the SAFe POPM, and who will get the benefit from this SAFe POPM certification?
Yeah, so just give me a half a minute to explain the context. So the context is that the SAFe framework, as we know, it has 4 different levels. So the framework applies to an agile team to start with, the basic agile team. Then you have a agile release train, which is a team of teams delivering a particular solution or a product. And then there are more complex solution train and then portfolio level. So these are different levels. So the people who are aspiring to be a product owner in the agile team. So an agile team requires somebody to help them into defining and understanding the customer requirement. So this may come from somebody like a product manager who has got some high level feature that need to be done by the agile team. So product owner is the person who understands the requirement, is kind of a customer to the team in terms of helping in definition of what we have user story, and also accepting this user story. So it's a content authority role in an agile team level. It can happen that as a product owner, you may support one agile team or 2 agile teams. So that depends on the context. So POPM it has a focus on the product owner who helps the agile team. That's one part of it. And you also have to be part of the agile release train that we call in the SAFe. So you need to participate in program increment planning and other. So you need to support your team in the product management functions. So it's about 70% of your knowledge 70% of the program is for the knowledge of being a product owner for an agile team, and 30% of supporting your team within the agile release stream, working with a product manager. So this is what program provides you as a knowledge.
Wow, that's actually a very amazing answer, because the next question I was thinking, everybody just talk about the project owner. So the POPM stands for product owner in safe environment. And I was just wondering, then what is this product manager? So I think you answered the both thing in a one question. That's really nice.
Yeah, so when we talk about product managers, then we have to look at a very broader perspective. So when you are delivering a solution, you need to talk to the people who are business responsibility. They can be portfolio manager. You may not need to talk to a multiple agile team through product owner. So that's from a development point of view. You need to talk to the operational people who will help you to get understand what is the issue with the customer, what kind of problems or feedbacks are coming to the problem. So product manager is a very broad-based function. Sometimes you may not be working alone, you may be working as a part of team. That's why we call project management sometimes. So product manager is a broad-based function, and there are four different pillars. One is you align with the business function. Second one is you support. You have to define the features that they are going to develop. The third part is you work with the operational team, and also you work with the marketing team. So this is a multifaceted function. One does it, and it's a very challenging role. And I would say that earlier product management was very market focused role, business function focused role. But today, a product manager can drive innovation in the company. We talk about innovation. So product manager is a very mercurial role to drive innovation within the organization.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds really nice and interesting. So, could you please elaborate more about this thing? So, what kind of benefit professional will get after this POPM certification?
So if you have been, say, a developer within the team for a couple of years, and you want to go in the direction of product management function, so you may like to go in different vertical growth path. But if you want to get into excitement of product management, as I say, it's a multifaceted role. Then this is POPM is an entry point. So you possibly are getting ready to play a role of a product owner for one agile team or a couple of agile team. And I have seen people with a vast development experience. They would like to be product owner. So either they may already be playing a role of a product owner, or they are aspiring to become a product owner. So it's an entry point program, I would say.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds really good. So, I think, what is the role and everything we have discussed. So, I think people are more curious about this thing. So, how difficult is the exam of POPM?
I would say that POPM as a test or a certification exam, uh, it's a fairly straightforward. I mean, if you understand software development, yeah, if you understand basic technical software engineering practices, clearing product owner POPM exam is not a big deal. So I don't really see any problem or challenges in clearing this certification. I mean, it's something that one can really, without much preparation. Obviously, as I said, you should have a good understanding of software development activity. Yeah, so that is all product development, and how you define the requirements. That understanding should be clear, and you should have some basic knowledge of a lean and agile concept. So that should be clear enough.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, Rakesh, for sharing all these things. And as I know, you have only 6 minutes, and every minute is very important for me. So now the one other very important certification, which is high in demand these days, I'm seeing the a lot of people are talking about. So just share some brief about this thing. What is this SAFe LPM, Lean Portfolio Management?
Yeah, actually, this is a very interesting portfolio management, and I do see sometimes people, not very clear about what a portfolio management. Because the word portfolio, program, project, they are kind of confusing people a lot. So let me put it in a very simple language. So if you conceptualize an organization at three levels, so one is the basic level of agile team, where you work in an agile team, but you may not be delivering product independently. You require more teams to work together. So you have a second level of a program, looking at a safe language. And at a program level, you are responsible for delivering a solution as an independent team. Now, if there are many such solutions are being developed, uh, the organization need to invest money very carefully. Yeah. So everybody is innovating. Everybody has an idea. Now, which are the best idea for the enterprise? So that part is done by portfolio manager. Yeah. So the portfolio manager is kind of coordinating between multiple solutions and multiple product team in a very structured way, and how the investment of the organization is done into a future innovation or future product. That's the job for portfolio manager. So this is where you are kind of a gatekeeper for making sure the right initiatives at the right time they are being invested into. You work with product managers, you work with release train engineers and business owners. I mean, when you come to say, I'm using a lot of safe terminology, assuming that you've done some safe program. So portfolio management is the highest level of business function in the safe organization framework. Yeah, so that's the portfolio management, and you do it in a lean way. People don't understand what is lean portfolio management. So when you do a lean way, that means you're making use of the investment and money in a very effective way, and not really spending money onto a project which was not beneficial to the strategy of the organization. So that's what lean portfolio management is all about.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Rakesh, for sharing this information. And I know you have only 3 minutes. And just one last quick question. So, what is the eligibility criteria for this LPM certification, SAFe LPM, and who should go for this certification?
So if you have been in a software delivery field for some time, you are if you could be a product manager, you could be a senior product owner who is working at a business function. When you basically you're looking at the budgeting of the projects, you're involved with a budgeting process. You also work with some of the strategy teams sometime. So these are all experience that you should have before you take a portfolio management course. So either you are already a portfolio manager or you aspire to be a portfolio manager. Yeah. So in these two situations, this program is best suited for you.
Perfect, perfect, sir. Thank you very much for sharing all these information. And I know now you have only 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, I just, if any last minute thought you would like to share with our audience.
So, Kumkun, thank you very much talking to your audience. And I would say that I have kind of having on my program many people who have an aspiration to grow into certain role, or they are confused with many terminologies and other things. It is better to make a good choice. That's very important. That's something which is going to benefit you the most. I'm sure people look at that way. So look at it two perspective. One is not just how certification is going to help you, but also in your current role or the way you want to develop, which program is more knowledgeable information for you. And I think people who enjoy the most when they have their this cloud of so much technology cleared up, they are really happy from the program. Yeah. So that's my advice to this. Have true clarity that certification will help you in your personal growth. That's number one. And number two, the knowledge that you acquire will clear some of your doubts from the current operation and also from your futuristic aspiration. So that will be a small advice that I'll provide to our listeners.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for sharing all the information and taking out time for this session. It's really insightful session, and thank you very much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, and bye bye.
Feel free to drop off, and I'll add one more guest. Hi, Saket. I've
Hi,
added
hi,
you.
hi everyone. So I do see as of now we have no question pending. That is something I
No
can see.
question.
So that's the one thing. So see, rather than talking about something which is purely on certification space, so I was thinking that I also give some introduction of the other resources which we have, which many of you might be aware of, many of you might not be aware of, and we do get some question in in that interaction channels, and maybe I can pick up something and elaborate on that. So that's something which we are planning to see in this segment of the session. Now before I go into the taking the details, I wanna share a screen so that you get some idea what I am talking about. So let's I'm sharing, but first to start with is our YouTube channel. So this is our YouTube channel, youtube.com/iZenBridge. And right now, the current content, if you are watching on YouTube, is also visible there. We do post other videos than this interaction alone. We have a very successful series called Scrum Master Question and Answers. In fact, today only we added one more video into it. It has, I think, 70 plus videos. It's 3-4 years of content where we are interacting with various individuals who have given interviews, and they want to clarify some doubts, or they want to make a strategy for the upcoming interviews. So if you, and it is just not limited to the interview preparation sake, it is also kind of looking agile and scrum in a context, because what you study in the certification class may not fit as it is when you do the work. So in these discussions we have a lot of interaction which is happening based on what people face on a day-to-day basis, and many times what you face on day-to-day basis also becomes a question when you go for an interview. So my recommendation is to check out this particular knowledge base. And then we have other stuff like PMPs and all, agile related videos. So there are many videos. We also have good amount of scaled agile videos, and we do have a new initiative where we are sharing the SAFe principle videos, and in the next 10 days we are going to share more and more videos on SAFe principles and other topics related to SAFe. So this is like a YouTube content I wanted to introduce you. Now before I go further and introduce something else, I may want to pick up some questions which we got on YouTube during the week. So they are not meant for this specific event alone, but I kind of answered them also, because when people watch the video, they have a question, they put it as a video comment there only. So I take one, and I believe these questions might be relevant for the wider audience as well, and that's the objective of including these questions in the conversation here. So someone is saying, I am Scrum certified and confused between PMI's Agile or PMP certification, which one I should go for. Now, again, I'm assuming the PMI Agile means PMI ACP. That's probably the meaning of it. Now, PMI has some other certificates of Agile as well, but yeah, I'm assuming that PMI ACP was the question. So this is something many of you might be also thinking that, okay, after doing Scrum certification, many times you find PMI has high brand value. Many organization really look at certification from PMI. So you might be wondering, okay, if I have to do a PMI certificate, which one I should do and how should I go about that? So my advice in this particular scenario is again inclined towards PMP rather than any other agile certification from PMI, rather than PMI ACP. So that's the whole thing. Disciplined agile is a specific case. If you have a requirement, then you do, else you don't do there. So now then you take the PMP certification if you have not taken already. After if you are looking for hybrid way of working, if you want to have a skill into managing projects as well as agile way of working, and that is my assumption you want to learn when you want to do a PMI based certificate. So that's my recommendation. So PMI ACP as a certificate is not that much in I would say in use, not many. So if we have like 100 people who are PMP certified, you may have less than 5 people who are PMI ACP certified. So overall, around 5 to 10% of PMP population in a number may have done PMI ACP. So PMP also gives you a kind of a more wider acceptance and wider understanding of overall project management. So that's my recommendation against this particular question. So I see the similar question coming in, a more, not a similar, but a two certification comparison question coming in. I think I can take that question before I pick up the another question from our weekly YouTube interaction list. So if you are, so the question is, I'm planning for certification in coaching field. From agile coaching perspective, what is more preferred, ICP, ACP, ACC or ICP BAF? Okay, so in general, the type of individuals who are coming from Scrum Master background and they want to get into agile coaching space, the IC Agile ACC certificate is a good starting point. Yeah, because it helps you in understanding what is coaching, what is the definition of coaching, mentoring and all, and you also understand what possible things coach may do in a given organization. It may not cover all the frameworks, but it is more like a coaching agile coach mindset certification. So you should not assume that I go for IC Agile ACC certificate and I will learn SAFe and I will learn Kanban and I will learn Scrum. So you don't learn a particular framework. The assumption is you may know those framework or you may learn those framework in future. What you actually learn is that, okay, how do we develop high performing team? How do we perform coaching conversation? What is the coaching roadmap? How possibly I should introduce agile in the organization? So these kind of a concepts, developing teams, mentoring them, good amount of time goes into understanding coaching conversation as well. And then you look at an organizational dysfunctions, some kind of a transformation roadmaps as well, and those kind of a culture related topic as well, which are kind of, I would say, building block for agile coach kind of profile, and then you can grow on top of it. So definitely doing IC agile coaching certificate will be a right thing to do. Now once you have done agile coaching space, you have been doing something, you want to get into a little bit on a business domain, not necessarily with certification, and sometimes you may want to focus on guiding, coaching organization on overall business agility. Then you need to do something which is more on understanding the domain, understanding the market, understanding the business part. So you may do some of the product ownership kind of certification program or learning, not necessarily with the certification. And there is what the Business Agility Foundation also fits in. So Business Agility Foundation fits in because it talks about understanding various business models, looking at a business model and looking for optimizing those business models, understanding how overall business operation probably get impacted by agile ways of working. So it's like thinking of that, okay, is this the right approach to see, or do we need to have some new product to launch? So generally the agile coaching, in other words, is you have a product or you have a goal in hand and then you get started with it. Whereas a business agility certification is more about looking for diversification, looking for new goals, looking for new technology, new market segments, and what probably you can do and guide there. So that kind of a content which is pretty much in alignment with business domain understanding as well. So business domain related product management related certificate also fits well. So that is something. Sometimes people do BAF directly without doing agile coaching, and those people are like in my experience, when I teach BAF, they were coming from business consulting background, management consulting background. So if you are a management consultant and you want to understand that they were already consulting in the management space, strategy space, cost optimization, new business initiative kind of space, and they wanted to understand, okay, what agile has to do with it and how can we make our management consulting now agile, so we can focus on business agility. So those type of professionals may directly go for BAF. They may not have interest in doing team level coaching and high performance teams coaching. They want to work at a strategy level only. So those individuals may directly go for BAF oriented stuff because that is what they are focusing on. Okay, so I go back to my YouTube discussion again. Yeah, so I think I have 3 questions from there. If in between, if some audience questions will come, we will take a pause and we will give a preference to the audience question. Yeah. So the Scrum certification followed by PMB, that's something we have been discussing. Definitely your current profile, your role matters. Yeah. Now this one is a very basic but important question. So someone was suffering in even locating what is this PMBOK and where can I find it. So I thought it's a good thing to talk rather than I just consider it as a small question. So the question is that do we have a place where we can get a PDF version of PMBOK, and can I get a version 6, version 7 or something together? So the answer is simple. Yes, and the question was also talking about that if I want to buy the PMBOK, it looks very expensive. Yeah. So again, irrespective of PMP exam is not based on PMBOK I have been talking about, and there is a exam content outline and all those stuff. But yes, PMBOK is a good source for learning, understanding project management. And if you want to learn that, you need to take a PMI membership. That's the easiest and simplest way to get the access to all the standards of PMI, program management, business analysis. So there is a good amount of standard and learning material. You can get an electronic copy, the PDF copy, which is designated for you only when you become a paid member of PMI. So you go to a pmi.org, buy the membership. It will cost you around $129, $130, and it is for a 1-year duration. And during that 1 year, whatever the standards are there, even the previous standards, you can download, you can use their digital platform, the Standard Plus as well. So that's the thing one can do. So just log into a pmi.org and get things moving. Yeah. And the final question, and then probably if I wait for Kumkum, if you get something out of hearing these 3 topics, then I will pause for you for that. Now this one is a little bit on product management, something we were talking, the product ownership and product management stuff. So the question is, how does a product owner helps creating a product backlog for a completely new product / project? Yeah, so that's the / is important. Yeah, so yeah, many of you who might be working as a product owner or might join the development team at a later stage, and you may get the first level product backlog always. Yeah, and that is where you get started. And you might be wondering that, okay, what if I have to start all fresh? Yeah, I am the one who is starting everything new. So how do I get started? So you might be wondering about that. So see, it depends upon what type of work you are doing. Say if you are doing a projectized environment, so you may get project charter, you may get contract as a first level of requirement feed, and you may build on top of it. So you may identify the initial level of epics or initial level of high level features based on what you see in your contract or what you call it project charter, if that is given to you, and then you interact with your stakeholders and they help you in understanding what is there, and that could be your first starting point. Yeah, if you are working in a project mode. But if you are working in a product mode, then nobody is giving contract to you. Then what is there? So there must be a reason for your initiation of a product which you are building. Many times you may have a business case, you may have some understanding that, okay, this is what we want to do. Usually you can say a high level understanding, and then you need to build it on top of it. So you may use a business case as an input. You may do an understanding and conversation with the stakeholder to come up with the personas who are expected to be using this particular product. You may have initial workshop to have an agreement on the vision related to that product. And once the vision and the personas who are the target for that particular product, get finalized or get understood. Finalize is a wrong word, because I would say that these personas can also evolve. You may learn about them, you drop some of them, you may pick up something new as you go along, but at least you have an understanding that this is what we are starting with. So you agree to the vision and you agree to the set of personas you want to target in this particular, with the help of this particular product, or you agree to the problem you are solving. That will help you in identifying the initial set of ideas, epics, or large requirement, whatever you call them, depending upon the framework you use. And then finally you start refining and continuously interacting with the stakeholder, and that's how you work and build your product backlog. So that's something I can say here. So anything on this space, if we have Scrum, PMP, PMBOK, and then that the final one was, I think, a generic where I shared my view. All good?
So yeah, all good so far. And not on these space, I have a couple of queries on the SAFe space. So if you would like to take something else before that, feel free to take
Yeah.
it.
So let me introduce the another source, and then we may probably talk about it. So the another source which I want to focus on and share with all of you is that we do have a source which we call it forum.izenbridge.com. It's a around 9-10 year old platform. It's a huge content primarily meant for PMP, PMI, ACP, PMI related product, PMI, PBA related discussions. It has exclusive area for our clients. Yeah, that is something which is the key component of our delivery and our continuous interaction with our clients even after they are done with the class, because we need to clarify their questions. The questions might be coming from any source, but it also has an open area which is open for everyone. So you can register yourself at forum.izenbridge.com, and by registering, it takes a 1 or 2 days time to validate, because see, running the community is a big challenge, because a lot of spammers on the internet. So we can't just do an auto authentication. We need to do manual authentication and need to keep some security check before we approve your user. So it takes time, 1 or 2 days. If it is taking more, then you can drop us an email saying support@izenbridge.com, that okay, this is my user ID and please activate. Usually you get it in 2 days. So once your user ID get activated, do you start discussing your questions and having conversations here. So this is something is a useful stuff which you can do if you are preparing for PMI programs, especially for PMP, because in the PMP space, you may need continuous exploration and queries, resolution, support things. So that's the another pick you can make. Today, I got a few questions on forum, but they are a little complicated to discuss in an open session, because both of the questions were primarily talking about earned value management. So I probably won't be able to give a background and explain the question here, and maybe not valuable for all of you. But if I get something which is generic, I will pick up in the subsequent conversations. Yes, Kumkum, we can take few questions now.
Perfect, Sakit. And before jumping on the question, I was just, today, whatever you shared, it's actually a very good thing. So we discuss about our forum, we discuss about the YouTube channel, and of course, there are so many people who are looking for the information in different areas. So I think we have all the consolidated information. If you are looking for some information on Scrum Master series, we have YouTube channel. You can log in, you can check and watch the videos, and it's free of cost. You don't have to pay anything, and we have the forum also. So as a community servers, the leaders, we are doing lot of things. So guys, just take this opportunity and watch the videos, and you can share your ideas also, what kind of video you want. We can make the exclusive video on demand also. So that's the thing I just wanted to share. And yeah, so now Sakit, these days I'm receiving a lot of queries around the renewal space, upgrade space. So first question I wanted to take about the what is this version upgrade? If somebody has done SAFe 4 1 year back, 2 years back, how they can upgrade their SAFe, and is there any cost associate with this upgrade?
So one of the simplest thing is you can take the new training and you get upgraded. That's a straightforward process. So if you have that's a probable is the best thing to do if you have done the certification few years ago. So that's the easiest thing. Now, if you don't want to do it because of various reasons, because of a time or a thing, then you need to renew your SAFe membership, and only by renewing your membership you can upgrade your certificate. There is no other way. So when you take a training again, the membership also get upgraded, or membership also get renewed. So how do you renew your membership? Ideally, you should be renewing it every year. And sometimes Scaled Agile may give an exception. So if, for example, if you have been not renewing it for 2 years, then you need to talk to them one-on-one. There is no direct flow. So you can drop an email to support@scaledagile.com, and they will tell you what is going to be the fee for you to upgrade or renew your membership even after the gap of 2 years or 3 years. By standard rules, you should be upgrading it every year. And there is earlier the Scaled Agile membership was certification oriented. So rather than upgrading the membership, you used to upgrade your certificate or renew your certificate. Rather than upgrade, renew your certificate. So say if you have done leading SAFe, every year you renew your leading SAFe certificate. That was the trend till say 6-7 months ago. Now the new format is they are saying that not to renew the certificate, but renew the membership. There are some exception like SPCs, and also there is a special certification renewal for SPCs and those kind of certificate. But for generic other certificates, you have to renew your membership and certification. So it is not one certification general. So you can have a non-certificate membership and you can have a certified membership. And once you renew your membership, then you get it whatever certificate you have done from Scaled Agile, they all get renewed. That's the thing. So if you intend to do many programs from Scaled Agile, your renewal cost may look cheap now because you can renew all of them together. Especially earlier, the expensive certificates like Lean Portfolio Management and all, they were also having expensive renewal fees. But now for those market, it is less because it's a one renewal fee. But if you have been just thinking of maintaining your one certificate, then you may find it little expensive also, and that's how you need to decide that you want to spend that money or you want to do something else. Yeah, so that's the whole process. Now once you have a membership upgraded or renewed, then the Scaled Agile, whenever the new version comes, they come up with a proper e-learning program where you get a set of videos. Sometime if the upgrade is significant, then they also ask you to go for test before they certify you in the new version. Sometime when the upgrades or the content change is not that much, they just want to make sure that you watch all those videos, and then you click for exclusion for the test, and then you get a new certificate in the new version. So this is the whole process which is followed for upgrades and working with various certifications.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, Sakit, for sharing this information. And I think there were a lot of confusion about the renewal and upgrade. So this is two different things, and I think now everybody is clear about what is this two different thing and how you can go for upgrade and how you can go for the renewal. One more important questions I'm seeing, and it's not only like after leading SAFe people are doing, and it's happened with the after POPM also. So how people can prepare for exam and what material they should explore once they are done with the training for exam.
So see, SAFe like program, the Scaled Agile give you all the necessary material for preparation for exam. So see, whenever you do a SAFe training from anywhere, you get a digital workbook which has all the content related to that particular program. So the trainer will be running through those slides. Now in our training, we go a little beyond slides as well, because many times the slides may not be easy enough to see the whole context, but technically it has to revolve around those slides. So those slides has to be covered in any training program, because that's the requirement from Scaled Agile as well. So that's a digital copy you get, which is good enough. So 80 to 90% of your question will come from those slides only. So that's the thing which you need to focus on. And then nowadays, Scaled Agile, depending upon which program you are enrolling, they are also giving you pre-classroom videos. So you are expected to watch some videos before you attend the class. That's also a proactive learner can do that. You can do it after the class also, but proactive learner might do it before. It is recommended to assign the participant those resources as soon as they enroll, so you don't have to wait for a first day of the class. That's the ideal thing. If your provider is not doing, you can ask them to do that. So for example, in our case, if you enroll to our upcoming class 10 days in advance, 10 days before only, you get the digital workbook, you get the complete access of the Scaled Agile platform, and we also give our content on top of it. So that's the whole thing. So you get the content as soon as you enroll, and if you are a proactive learner, you can make use of that content as you get started. Now, once you attend the class, if you go with the preparation, I think you can make you can increase the effectiveness of your class significantly. See, it's a relatively huge framework. If you're going from a CSM class to a SAFe class, you may find a huge difference, because CSM class, you might be spending more and more time to feel it, sense that particular concept, and then absorb it. Whereas in a SAFe class, you may not have that much time to feel and sense. You need to be a little fast, because there is a quantity is little bit far more than a generic Scrum class. So one has to be ready for that. So it's good to go with the preparation with the help of reading the digital workbook, and then you go for a class, clarify your doubts, understand with the help of your instructor what is this whole content means to you. And once that is done, then you come back. By default, whichever provider you are picking up, Scaled Agile provides you one practice test also, which will be following the same structure, the same pattern, same interface. Everything will be the same, which is equivalent to your final exam. So take the test, make sure that you score good. You know how to answer those questions. You understand the language of exam, because sometimes even if you know the concept, but not knowing the language can put you at a wrong spot. So yeah, you go for it, and then you give the exam. But again, you need to invest that all those things, because in case of Scaled Agile, they only give you a one attempt, yeah, as a part of your certification or a training fee. If you can't make it in a first attempt, then you need to pay the money. That's the thing. You need to pay a retake fee. But that's a rare of the rare possibility. If you follow this process, yeah, ideally you should do pre-learning. If you can't do a pre-learning, then you do a post-learning, and then take the practice test. Yeah.
Perfect, Saket. Thank you very much for sharing this information, and thank you very much for covering two important questions which I was about to ask you, but you already covered. Like first, there will be only one attempt, so it's for all the Scaled Agile certification. There will be only one attempt.
So that is something as much I remember, because see, there are 13 programs. Even I have not seen all the 13 programs rule book, but all the popular one, 6, 7, which we run, we can talk about our program, like Scrum Master, Product Owner, APM, LPM. So all the program which we run has a one attempt. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
can assume that that might be the case for others as well. But yeah, that's the thing.
And what is the retake fee?
So for all the programs which we run, it's a $50. But yeah, there could be some program specific thing. So one should check the program page. Yeah, for example, leading SAFe, it's a $50. For POPM, it's a $50. But yeah, there could be another program which might have something else. So yeah, it's a good idea to go to Scaled Agile and check those details. But I think better would be that you don't get into that situation. And it's very easy to not to get into that situation by doing some amount of advanced planning for the test by way of taking practice test and fixing those problems.
Perfect. Sounds really great. So, one last question I would like to ask you. So, this POPM, SAFe POPM certification, this certification is specific for the IT industry or it's open for all?
See, it is we need to understand that in general, the idea of agile is more and more well understood and well adapted in the IT world. So you may find more and more terminology in the content which are more aligned to IT words. So that's a possible challenge which you can see in the program. Now when you really look for that, okay, what I want to do, yeah, in a thing. So if you are working in an operational space, this program is not for you. So it is primarily meant for the individuals who are working in a development organization. So things like there are people who are coming together and creating a new product or maintaining a large system together. So that's a development organization. It is, say, if I am working in a bank and I am doing a bank cashier job, so the POPM certificate is not for me, because what do I do by learning what is POPM happening? But assuming I have been allocated or moved, yeah, to the development group, and since I have a cash handling and all those domain experience, and I have been assigned that you work in this development group and you guide the agile team on the product priorities and requirements, and that's the work you have to do. Then I need to understand how my development organization works, and how can I give them a small piece of requirement so that they can start building it. So in a way, rather than using the word IT, I would say that it is a program. Most of the SAFe programs, other than leading SAFe and LPM, are meant for development organization program. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Leading SAFe is a vast introductory program, can fit anywhere. Lean portfolio management is a strategic program, can fit to people who are responsible for making strategies and all. But other programs are meant for primarily for a development organizational space. Yeah, so you should be doing role in a development organization, not necessarily in IT space.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. And I think we have received one question, and
Sure,
we have
sure,
four
sure.
minutes. We can answer.
Yeah. So can you, without CSM, can we do SAFe Scrum Master? The answer is yes. See, the idea here is, so you understand, somebody may wonder, why there are so many certificate in SAFe. Yeah. And what they want to achieve out of giving so many certificates and then confusing us. So understand the Scaled Agile is not just an educational body. It is not equivalent to PMI. Yeah, they are primarily, the Scaled Agile is a body where they want to go inside the organization and help organization to get to a using Scaled Agile framework. So that's their objective. Now in order to achieve that objective, what they have created, that okay, when we are doing this whole implementation of Scaled Agile framework, there are different people which who might be joining this implementation process, and we need to train them. And that is why they have created so many programs and curriculums, that okay, when we get started with SAFe implementation, the Scrum Masters are expected to go for Scrum Master training, SAFe Scrum Master training, and it's their curriculum. So they talk about what is the role of Scrum Master in the SAFe context. So definitely, when the large implementation happens, there are people who may not be Scrum certified already. There will be people who may not be a product management or product owner certified in already. And when the implementation begins, as per the role, people go for their training, and all those trainings are coming from Scaled Agile training portfolio. So the answer here is, it is designed in that way. So it's an original design. Now we do public training, and many of us do it for understanding the SAFe and enhancing our career option. But the original design of these particular program and the implementation roadmap is that okay, we start with an organization and we train their particular workforce. So yes, the answer is that SAFe Scrum Master can be done directly. That is their objective, and they believe that okay, these are the set of Scrum Masters. They should go for this training so that they can do their job well in a SAFe implementation.
Perfect,
Okay.
Sagar. Thank you very much. And Arthur, I think you're okay with the answer. So for Safe Scrum Master, CSM is not prerequisite. You can join Safe Scrum Master directly. Okay, so now we have only 1 minute left. So, Saket, any last minute thought would you like to share with our audience?
So the only thing which, especially when I will usually I join this call as usual, uh, 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 that and I keep suggesting that even the question which you give us during the week, like in the form of YouTube comments or in the form of forum comments, if they are good enough for a generic audience, I will start picking those questions as well. Though I keep replying on your YouTube question as and when they occur. But yeah, that's the new trend which we will be also following. So please feel free to comment on our YouTube as well as comment on our forum space. So if I just see the Joel's, the final things, I work as a senior business analyst. Please suggest if the Scrum Master is good or a product owner. So see, what I say is the product owner is a domain which relates with your business analysis is path, whereas a Scrum Master is more on leadership management job. So it's like coaching, mentoring, facilitating, resolving issues, working with people, influencing them, and getting things done. So that's the job of a path of a Scrum Master, and then future paths of a leadership path. So it's a kind of a people leadership role, whereas a product owner, product management, and these roles are understanding the product, doing competitive analysis, looking at personas, finding out the features, working on those things, and discovering new business ideas, implementing those space. So that's the path. So now you need to see which is more like natural to me, where I want to focus more, and which has a potential also, because kind of a domain in your previous experience where it fits well. So that is the thing which can help you in making that particular decision. Yeah. And the another thing is the type of organization you want to work in a service organization. These things may be a little bit merged as well. But if you are working in a product organization, then they will be very distinguishedly different. Yeah, that's the another factor you may want to consider. So very difficult to say which one is good. It all depends upon your interest, your experience, and the future aspiration. Yeah. So I think this is good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. And this is, I think, I mean, we have exceeded the time also. So thank you very much for giving me an audience the extra 2 minutes and explaining this concept. Thank you very much. And guys, we'll be back again on next Friday, 7 p.m. IST time. So join us, and whatever questions you have, keep asking questions and drop the questions on our LinkedIn channel or YouTube channel, and the comment box. So, and you can email us also, sales@izenbridge.com. So we'll answer your questions. It's not about the selling about the certification. It's about sharing knowledge about the certification. So feel free to ask questions, and bye for now. Stay safe, stay inside, and take care of yourself.
Bye everyone.
Bye.